ISIS persecution isn't limited to Syria. The head of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the UK says violence against Christians in Egypt is on the rise. Attacks on Coptic Christians in the past several months have caused hundreds to flee parts of the country. For more on the challenges facing Christian groups, we're joined by Bishop Angaelos, General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the United Kingdom. Your Grace, please bring us up to date on what's happening in Egypt with Christians.
Well, I issued a statement a few days ago saying that in the past few months, 4 months, there's been a rise in attacks on Christians. There's been a spate of attacks ranging from the bombing of St. Peter's Church in Cairo through to targeted attacks on Christians purely for their faith. And we find that it's escalating and that it's very targeted on Christian communities to make a point that they are either no longer desired in the community or that there is a widespread rejection of them. Now, of course, we know this is from only a certain section of the community because there's been an outpouring of support from many, many Muslims. But the attacks are becoming much more aggressive and actually deadly.
Well, like we said, we know that Christians have been persecuted in Egypt for years, for decades, in fact. But why is it specifically right now? I mean, again, what is the point? I mean, what are they trying to really get at?
Of course, since the first uprising of 2011, we saw a state of lawlessness. So there was an increase of attacks then. Then an Islamist government came in, and there really wasn't a care for the Christian community, and there was an impunity felt by those who attacked Christians. And what we're seeing now is an attack on the Christians and on the government through the Christians. What we see is an attack on Egyptian citizens. We don't want privileged protection. We don't want a privileged status. We're just saying that we are indigenous people of Egypt, equal citizens wanting the same treatment under law.
What do you think the U.S. government can do to help, if anything?
You know, these are all local issues, they're national issues. Of course, what international governments can do is help with international foreign investment, with helping the tourist industry, allowing Egypt to come out of the poverty that makes people more vulnerable and therefore more susceptible to radicalization. Because that not only affects Christians, it affects everybody, and therefore those people who are more vulnerable financially and economically become used by those elements that try to attack. You know, Christians have been very resilient and they've been very peaceful and they haven't retaliated, but they feel the pain of what's happening. I think they give us an incredible model of Christian faith and application on a day-to-day basis. But we also shouldn't turn our eye away from their suffering and continue to advocate for them because we can, whether it's here in the US or with me in the United Kingdom or anywhere in the world, where we're in positions where we can speak, we need to speak. And I would say that equally, whether it's Coptic Christians in Egypt or indeed Yazidis in Iraq or anyone else, because as a Christian principle, the sanctity of life, the dignity of life are things that God has given us and we're supposed to protect.
We'll know that you and all of your group in your church has our prayers as well. Grace Bishop Angaelos, General Bishop of the Coptic Orthodox Church in the United Kingdom, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you for your time.